Okay, hey guys, this is our first video for our notes, exponential expressions. So everybody needs to have their note paper out and a writing utensil, pen, pencil. It's up to you. If you want, you could get a few different colors. I've got a couple. I don't know if I'll use them or not, but I'm going to have them just in case I want them. Other than that, I guess we'll get going. So we're going to talk about exponential expressions. Okay, first thing is, what is an exponent or an exponential expression? So that's where we have a base, normally, and then a little number that's our exponent. And it doesn't have to be a number, but we're going to just deal with numbers. So an example of this would be something like x squared, where x is my base and the little 2 is my exponent. Okay, it could be something like 2 cubed. Again, my base is 2 and that 2 is getting cubed or is raised to the 3rd power. Or it could be something a little bit more complex like 4 squared x cubed y z to the 4th. It could be something crazy like that, where we have 1, 2, 3, 4 different bases, and we have exponents for each base. Technically, this y has an exponent of 1. We just normally don't write that. Okay? So when we do exponents, we want to make sure we state them properly. So as I said, technically this is x to the 1st power. We don't write that, but we could say this is x to the 1st power. Okay? If it's a little 2, we say it is x squared, or whatever our base is. So we state the base and then we state the exponent. Okay, this would be x cubed. And then after the squared and cubed, we tend to just say simply x is raised to the 4th power. Sorry, that extended. Or x to the 5th power. Okay, so you don't have to say the raised to. You could just say x to the 5th power, x to the 4th power. Technically, you could say x to the 3rd, x to the 2nd. You could always say to the, and then whatever power it is. Okay? So what does an exponent do? What it does is it shows repeated multiplication. So what that means, if I had 2 cubed, that's saying that's 2 times 2 times 2, which we know 2 times 2 is 4, and then 4 times 2 is 8. So it's another way just to say 8. So 2 cubed is technically 8. We could also have like x to the 4th, which is saying we're looking at x times x times x times x. Okay? If you need to pause the video at any time to fill in your notes, please do so. I'm going fairly quickly because I want to keep these videos short so they're easier to post. But take a second, write down those notes, pause it if you need to. Okay. We're also going to fill out simplifying exponential expressions. Okay, so we're going to start fairly simple and work to the challenging things. So today should be nice and simple. So if you have a base that is a number, okay, so a number, example 2, 3, 4, and so forth. Simplify that number. Okay. And what I mean by simplifying that number, like if we had 2 cubed like we had up here, I would simplify that simply to 8. Okay. So for example, if I had, let's say, 3 cubed, that's 3 times 3 times 3, so I just simplify that to 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27. So simplified, it's just simply 27. Now we're going to make these a little bit more complicated. What if I had, let's go over here, an example of 2 cubed x squared y to the 4th. These are all getting multiplied. That would simply be 2 times 2 times 2, x times x, and then 4 y's. Okay, and we don't have to write out all the letters every time. I'm just showing you on this one. So we know 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. Okay, can I simplify x times x? No, x squared is actually the easiest way to write that. And that's why they did exponents, because this is very long. So instead of leaving it out like we wrote it, we're just actually leaving them as y to the 4th. So this simplified 2 cubed times x squared times y to the 4th is simply 8x squared y to the 4th. Okay. If we had something like 5 squared times 2 to the 4th times 3 squared times y times z cubed. Okay, we can't really do anything with these two, but let's look at 5 squared. So that's 5 times 5, and then we have this 2 to the 4th, so 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, and then 3 squared, 3 times 3. So 5 times 5 is 25 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, so 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, and then we have 3 times 3, which is 9. So I'm going to grab my calculator because I don't know that off the top of my head. So 25 times 16 times 9. So I'd get these together is 3,600, and then I have my 1y and 3 z's. Okay? Oops, sorry, you couldn't see that. So we could actually take something like this, which is kind of long and complicated, and simplify it down. Okay, I'm going to do one more example. So the last example, you could have y cubed times 2 squared times z to the 4th times 8 squared. Okay, if you notice my numbers are all mixed in, which is fine, so we're just going to rewrite that. Y times y times y times 2 times 2 times z, and sorry, it's going to kind of loop down, times 8 times 8. Hopefully you guys wrote yours a little bit better than I did. Okay, I could take care of the 2's and the 8's. So 2 times 2, I'm just going right over here, is 4. 8 times 8 is 64. And then my y's, like, that's not as simple as y cubed, so I'm going to leave this as y cubed. Same with my z's. Writing 2 z's is longer than, oh, that should have been 4 z's. Writing 4 z's is harder than writing z to the 4th. So then we just have 64 times 4. So 64 times 4. So my answer is going to be 256 y cubed z to the 4th. Okay, sorry that got a little squished. Okay, so you guys are going to fill out these notes, and I will post our assignment. Okay, have a good day. Bye.